That massive win before that for him when he knocked out Vasily Levit, hugely decorated Kazakh fighter in the second round in his very first fight. So it would be kind of poetic almost if Reyes ended up meeting La Cruz. So Reyes in the blue, as I say, now based in Spain, one of a few Cuban fighters who've moved to other countries. We saw one earlier on in Lauren Alfonso, boxing for Azerbaijan. Javier Banez is in Bulgaria these days. So Mouhiidine in the red, southpaw, as I say, very, very quick. Can Reyes slow him down, catch him, land on him? Mouhiidine beating Julio Castillo, very experienced fighter of Ecuador, in his quarterfinal, and honestly beat him quite comfortably. Reyes got past Jamar Talley, another young US fighter who'd had a terrific competition, and also, and probably his best performance, I would say, against Hussein Aishish of Jordan, who he beat by unanimous decision, and it was a real good display. We were going back on the bus with Hussein just a few minutes after that fight had finished, actually, and he was quite badly marked up, so you could see the accuracy of Mouhiidine. Nothing much landed in the opening minute of this one. Reyes just trying to jab to the body there, then flicks one up to the head, didn't land. Mouhiidine jumps in there. You look at his feet on the canvas, that heel is almost never in contact with the canvas when he's in front of his man. That is extraordinarily tiring, but he's got that kind of fitness, that kind of fast twitch. That is a natural thing, I think, really. Either you can do this or you can't. I don't think it would matter how hard you train. Either you have it or you don't have it. Trading off on the inside, and the referee just talking to the pair of them there about hitting with the inside of the glove. Well, neither really wanting to pull the trigger, and in the end, Mouhiidine kind of walked forward there, right hand to the body from Reyes. Looking for the uppercut there, Reyes. He was short, as was Mouhiidine with the 1-2. Chases Reyes across the ring there, Mouhiidine, but did eventually get there with a left hand to the body. There's been a lot of posturing, a lot of feinting, a lot of twitching, a reasonable amount of punching, not that much landing. A left hand to the body there from Mouhiidine. And another follow-up left hand may have landed. Jab from Mouhiidine. It's quite difficult to tell with him what lands and what doesn't because there's so much movement. Sometimes he's almost pulling back off punches before he lands them, the kind of technique that you would have seen back in computer point scoring days, really. Commits to that 1-2 a little bit more that time. Left hand just got through there from Reyes. And he's one of these fighters, Mouhiidine, Ron, where you know what he's going to do, you know what the attributes are that he's got, but doing something about it is difficult.
Certainly, yes. Plenty of activity, but in amongst all of that activity, I'm not quite sure how much accuracy there was. And I happen to think that the man in blue edged that round, but the judges have gone 4-1 the other way because he's very active, very busy. But as you pointed out during commentary, often pulls back, and with him pulling back, sometimes the punch hasn't really landed. But he's certainly the busier boxer, taking it on a 4-1 split after 3 minutes of boxing. Scoring right hand with the body there.
That's a really good example of why he's hard to score, because I can see exactly why you went the other way. Because with Mouhiidine, it's difficult to know what's landed and what hasn't. There's quite a lot of sizzle and not that much steak, as somebody described it once. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, but some of it does get through, and it's convincing. It's convincing. Convinced 4 of the 5 judges there anyway. Don't know what you're laughing about. So into the second round, Mouhiidine in the red of Italy, Reyes in the blue of Spain. Nice combination on the inside there from Mouhiidine, and again there as Reyes just stands a little bit further in range and looks to try and let his hands go. Now, when you've lost an opening round, you then have to do something about it in the second round, or you leave yourself too much to do in the third. That's a very obvious thing to say, but what it means is that Reyes has got to do something about it in this second round. And it's just possible that what he's going to do will suit Mouhiidine. It has done in the early stages. Reyes stepped in there with a combination. Mouhiidine, if he can kind of cast that spell, that kind of Jedi mind trick almost, and win that opening round, and then his opponent has to come to him more, and maybe that'll favour him a little bit. Reyes, he kind of rolls forward. Quite compact, quite efficient, economical in his movements. Mouhiidine, again, the feet just never really slow down. In one fight of his, I saw him plant them just a little bit more against Abbes, actually. And I did think that he boxed at his best that I've seen him in the competition, but you will always try and tailor your approach to the person in front of you. Jabs his way forward there, but Reyes had moved off to the right. Kind of right-hand lead there from Reyes, which didn't really land. The most significant work of the round so far was those couple of bursts of counter-punching in the first 20 seconds or so that came from Mouhiidine when Reyes came forward without too much real signs behind it. Long right hand there from Reyes as the two fall into each other. A minute remaining in round two. Again, not very much in this, and Reyes needs it. He needs it badly, having lost that first round 4-1 with the judges. Bounced into an orthodox stance there, Mouhiidine, very briefly, and then pivoted back into southpaw. Leads off with a left hand. Again, we're at ringside here, and I couldn't tell you whether that landed or not, and then he just moved straight in behind it onto the shoulder of his opponent. Right hand there from Reyes, I think did catch Mouhiidine as he was looking to exit. Strong right hand on the inside there from the Cuban, now boxing for Spain. I think that registered. Referee just having a chat with a pair of them about the heads. 1-2 from Reyes. Didn't look great, but it landed on the scoring area. Final few seconds of round two. Now, as we know, Reyes needs this, having dropped the first round on a 4-1 split. A little celebration there from Mouhiidine as he goes back to the corner.
I think it's warranted because he came out with that blistering burst of success in the first few seconds. I thought this man took the middle portion of the round, but then he came back and I thought the man in red was a worthy winner. So 2 4-1 splits, 20 points to 18 across the board. 4 of them in favor of the Italian boxer, the other 2 in favor of Reyes. And Reyes just hasn't been able to raise his tempo enough with enough sustained success to get it for more than one of the 5 scoring judges. I don't think he won the second round. I thought he did take the first, but the man from Spain embellishes all of his successes as well with the little celebrations, winding them up, and he's so busy.
That's the word.
Dynamism can often serve him well in close situations.
That is the word. He is so busy. So into the third and final round, and Reyes needs something show-stopping here, almost literally, because the only way for him to get this done now is to catch up with Mouhiidine, land on him, and just take everything away from him, really. And it's interesting to see Mouhiidine emerge, because at the World Championships 2 years ago, he got knocked out early. Won a European under-22 in 2018, but that's a little while ago. Now Italian national champ this year, and he's going to box his way to the final of the World Championships. Now, we know that quite a lot of fighters, previous top-level fighters, have left the system post-Olympics, but nevertheless, this is a huge step that he's taken. Was a solid-looking right hand there that got through from Reyes towards the start of the round, a minute into it. And as stated, he just needs to avoid disaster here, really, Mouhiidine, and he's going to go through to the final and face Julio de Cruz, which will be a kind of dream come true in itself. Mouhiidine just sticks with the jab, tries to let his hands go on the inside. using those feet well. Reyes comes forward. Referee will break them up. And he'll continue to believe and hope, really, Reyes, that he can land that one real big shot or effective combination. But I think he'll have found this a frustrating experience. You're not going to face many heavyweights who move as much as this. And as I said before, if it were that easy, plenty of them would do it. But there's an enormous amount of dedication that goes into getting yourself into this condition, as I said, allied with some natural attributes. Jab. And then he aimed with the left hand, Mouhiidine, but he's not looked to be too expansive in this final round. Just getting a hold of Reyes. The head's almost coming together because he's home and dry now. 20 points to 18 on 4 cards heading into this 5th and final round. And this will complete our lineup for the finals, which come your way tomorrow evening, starting at 6 local time, and then conclude on Saturday evening, starting at exactly the same time, when those gold medals will be won, along with $100,000 for the winners. Mouhiidine now will be guaranteed at least a silver and $50,000, and Reyes will take home $25,000. So that is not a bad 2 weeks' work by any stretch, but he will be disappointed that he hasn't managed to take it through to the final. But Mouhiidine, Julio La Cruz, what do you make of that? I think we can assume he's won this fight, can't we?
Yep, I would agree with that. I think it's going to be a very interesting final. 2 boxers at the opposite ends of their career. This man just starting out, having competed in Yekaterinburg 2 years ago. Had a valuable experience. Let's get the official verdict and we'll ruminate more as to what we're likely to see in that gold medal bout. But it's going to be a #1 of boxing. Anything can happen, but the higher you go up the weight classes, the greater